Tonight's tactical enhancement is a bishop's finger. Tonight we're playing Black Powder, and it's 450 odd points, open lists, and we're doing what is basically an attack defense scenario, which is lifted out of the Flames of War series of games. Only instead of doing it lengthways, we've decided to do it sideways because this game needs a bit more room to maneuver, being a totally different scale and whatnot. So we have 450 points worth of Prussians up this table side. We got some cav on the flank, brigade, small one though because I wanted more cavalry, the usual ever reliable cannon, another smallish brigade of infantry, and a little bit more cavalry. I've got 2 units of Ulan that can run around independently, and they're anchored by this one poor, slightly wounded pile of dragoons, and if I get them killed I've got a problem. The defending side has got 40% of its points in reserve. The rest is, well, deployed as you see. They've got 1 battery of cannon in the middle, a very small unit of, are those dragoons? Hussars, right. To slow down the infantry, no doubt. There's the general taking up a very big area of space on the battlefield. Now, the rest are in reserve. The way we're doing the reserves is again straight out of Flames of War. Basically from turn 2 you roll 1 dice, and on a 5 a unit comes on. Then every turn after that you add a dice, and the number of 5s you roll is the number of units that come on. Those would be individual battalions. So if in turn 3 you roll 3 5s, then 3 units come on, irrespective of what's come on before. As of turn 3, 1 unit automatically comes on, just so you're not left rolling crap all day and not getting anything to hold you back. Now, we've got to capture objectives. One objective is over there, it's a little tent. And the other objective is a watchtower. They're looking suspiciously medieval, perhaps with a slightly fantasy bent. Definitely Germanic. Okay, trees are trees, buildings are buildings. We're treating the hills as smooth-sided, even though they're actually built with a step. Attacker gets first turn, and we've decided to make it that nobody charges in the first turn of the game, because we are playing on a 6x4 foot table, which doesn't give you quite the maneuverability of a 6 foot deep table. So just to stop it from turning into a complete clusterfuck before there's any chance for reserves coming on, we've decided to slow down the first turn slightly. But that's it, I think. Anything else of note?
Not for me, otherwise, apart from the bishop's finger being a particularly fine drop.
Yes, I could do with another bishop's finger actually, but anyway. Now this is Llew's army. Llew's Austrians, which we don't enjoy beating up as much, but he's upgraded these, so they're going to thoroughly enjoy beating up pretty much anybody who comes along. On that note, we'll do turn 1 for the attacker, that's the Prussians. We'll check in after that. End of turn 1 for the Prussians. So the attack's gone off without a hitch. All of the orders passed easily, which is amazing. Because we couldn't charge, only moved once with each brigade. Pumped some shots out. The cannon were a bit underwhelming. They fired 2 shots each at these guys. Only did 1 wound. Over here, the infantry took a wound off of these guys and disordered them. We've got these cavalry all the way around the back to start causing drama. And these ones I didn't move very cleverly, so they're just sort of sitting there wondering what they're supposed to be doing. And these guys, I moved up to 6 in order to get better range before shooting, but it didn't make any difference this turn. It might do next. So no Austrian reserves, nobody charging. We'll check in at the end of Austrian turn 1. End of Austrian turn 1. Now, I think these guys, did they move up? Yeah, they moved up a little bit. Shot took a wound off of these guys. These ones failed to maneuver, but they did shoot, and they popped a wound off of that unit of landwehr. Then it got hilarious, because this unit here completely failed to turn on the spot to deal with its cavalry. That's not going to be good for them, as it turns out. The cavalry get them in the flank, and then the cavalry failed to charge. So it wasn't a great turn for the Austrians. They rolled really quite terribly. I feel slightly guilty because I rolled so well in turn 1 for the Prussians, and now we're in impulse range for most things. So on that note, we'd best get into Prussian turn 2. End of Prussian turn 2. Now, first thing that happened was the cavalry went barreling into here. They formed squares, so we manoeuvred back a bit because we don't want to get pincered when reserves turn up. Over here, these guys went barreling in and they formed square. It keeps them busy for a couple of turns while I get on with the biff. Now over here, we charged into these guys. They shot like mad, bashed up the unit, and then in the fight, it's pretty even for casualties in the fight, which I can't complain about because the Austrians actually have an advantage in the brawl. But we lost, rolled okay for leadership, thankfully. I actually rolled 10, which went down to 6 and caused them to bounce back over the top of these guys. But I tell you what, that could have been a lot worse. And here we bashed into these guys, and it went actually rather well. We won the fight, but the Austrians rolled well on their leadership and they held. So I would say it's going to plan. I don't know if the plan's a good one or not, but it's going to plan. Oh, and we fired the cannon. And they blatted up here and disordered that unit. And was it shaken and disordered?
Shaken and disordered.
Yeah, so this cavalry are having a bad day.
Yeah.
Right, on that note, we'll go over to the Austrians, turn 2. End of Austrian turn 2. On this flank, everyone shot. These guys shot at them, didn't do anything. These guys put some rounds into here, and I think they took a casualty off, actually. Oh, and they split their fire, because the units were configured weirdly, and they put a round onto these guys and took a wound off of them. That was annoying. The artillery shot from there into these chaps, knocked one off and disordered them. And there was some ineffectual fire over here. Now the bad news is, Llew rolled up a reserve. He had a 1 in 3 chance on turn 2, and he got one. I've got no idea who the other chaps are that are up there. Or did you bring on 2 units?
That's 1 brigade.
Oh, okay. I thought it was taken on individual units, but that's all right.
No,
that's all right. No, we'll count that. We're not going to backtrack the game. So that was annoying. They're on. What that means now in this fight, we actually won, and we've got them up for 3 wounds. I basically have 1 turn to smash these guys before they're so reinforced that I'm going to have a hell of a time getting through. Now over here, these guys are shaken and shaken until the end of my turn. I can, in theory, shoot these guys. So these guys are not, charge these guys, so these guys are not shaken. But I haven't decided yet whether to do so because that's a risky idea when I do have some cannon that are very conveniently about to move into point blank range. I'll make a decision on that, and we'll see what that is at the end of turn 3 Prussia. So, end of Prussian turn 3. Well, as you can see, we did not break through. We started off keeping the cavalry in place because it's pinning 2 perfectly good units of infantry. I did move these guys up because I've got a sneaky suspicion I'm going to need them at some point because I don't think that flank's going to stay unsupported for long. Now, they might come around here, but that's another kind of problem. So these 2 units didn't do anything, although their disorder has come off. Now, I move these guys into point blank range. I move these guys in a line, and I blatter these pricks with 9 dice. I got 1 from the infantry, and then these guys managed to roll 1 6 and 5 1s. At point blank range at these pricks. That was annoying, Llew. He's still laughing at me. I'm not going to film him, but he's sniggering away in the background. I should have obliterated that unit in a hail of grape shot, but instead we, I don't know, killed some passing pigeons or something.
Ich bin einen Deutsch.
So, I mean, they're disordered. They're not going anywhere this turn, but they're very annoying. I was hoping to clear the way, and that would really put some pressure on Llew. I'll have to wait until next turn. The other issue is over here, right? I whacked him good. I got 5 hits out of 6, and he got 2 on me. I saved him. He saved all but 1, but of course they're big units, so they're still not over. And we still won the combat. But he's still there, which means these pricks can move up to give him some real support and becomes a very even fight. So my plan to crash through has not happened. It's going to be a slugfest instead. And on that note, over to Austrian turn 3. End of Austrian turn 3. Oh my lordy my, and it's like my fellas are jumping up and down to try and headbutt musket balls. It's fucking woeful. Over here, these guys shot at these guys, disordered them, took a guy off. These guys fired all their shots at these guys and dumped, I don't know, 2 or 3 casualties on them and disordered them. Just as things were starting to get okay for these chaps, that cannon took a wild, long shot over their own troops, needing 1 dice with a 6, and what do you know? They did a wound and disordered them. There's no fight there. The only good news is these guys shot and didn't do anything. In this fight here, he moved up both these units. Now, there was no reinforcements because he'd brought in 2 last time, so, you know, he just made it as though one of them was this turn. They reinforced this line. I then rolled really well to hit. Llew rolled really badly to hit. Then he did his saves, and I fucking rolled a whole lot of 1s. And then this unit, which had only really lost by 1, rolled snake eyes and fucked off. They've been doing such sterling service, and now they're gone. Now, these 2 units are fine, but I tell you what, that was rough. So I'm now losing a battle of attrition against all of this lot. Although these guys are Hungarians, not Austrians, so they're not the big beefy-ass units that these guys are. How many wounds have these guys taken now?
4. They're shaken.
Just shaken, alright.
You need to get into them as soon as you can.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of options here. I've got 1 unit that can get into them. They're going to have to, otherwise it's just going to end in tears. And next turn you automatically get 1 reserve.
I think I should roll for it.
No. It's the old Flames of War rules. You automatically get 1 on turn 3. So they'll turn up somewhere. But I do still have these cannon very conveniently close to these boys. Jeez, I tell you what. It's a close battle today. We better stop waffling and get into Prussian turn 4. End of Prussian turn 4, and Prussian armies are not looking too flash. Because Llew has been disordering me so effectively, and I've been failing saves all over the place. I've got 2 units which are shaken, 3 wounds. I've not had a chance to take wounds off because you keep shaking them, even with that long range 6 from the cannon. Stop me from taking a wound off of these guys. And as a result of that, this brigade is falling back. That's rather unfortunate. We did, however, destroy that unit just from out and out shooting. We fucked it right up. The cannon finally did what they were supposed to. And if they'd done it a turn earlier, you know what? I still have a brigade here. So that's interesting. I'd moved my cavalry around, did a long range charge, used the general for the reroll, and became that far short of collecting those cannon. Should have just moved. Never mind. Basically, they're going to turn around and canister these guys at point blank range, and then the only way to charge them will be through canister at point blank range. So they're probably fucked. The disorder came off of them, but there's still plenty of opportunity for Llew to put it back on them. I moved up those guys last turn. They didn't do anything this turn. Now, in the fight, we belted these fellas good, put them over, won the fight, but Llew rolled well to stick around. The next problem is that these guys are almost shaken, and once they're shaken, this whole unit falls back, apart from anyone who's locked in combat. So things are not looking good for Prussia. On that note, we'll go into Austria turn 4, and we'll see if there's still a game left at the end of that. End of Austrian turn 4, and might I say, this game is fucking close. Now, Llew decided not to bring his remaining cavalry reinforcements on, because he thinks that we started putting reinforcements on too quickly for this scenario given such a small space. Maybe. We'll have a chat about the mission pros and cons later. These guys continued shooting at the horses and took another wound off. I can't seem to make a save against shooting today. These guys tried to limber move, unlimber, and then shoot to blast these guys at point blank. And they used the reroll of the general, and they never quite made it. So they're limbered right next to a bunch of gallivanting spear-clad horses. Then again, these guys have their back to the cavalry as well. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Well, then again, yeah, I'll have a think. These guys did some shooting, popped a wound off of this lot. In the fight, it was a tie, and this unit took 2 wounds, which you can't really afford to be taking wounds at the moment. It's a bit rough. These guys are disordered. Is that from last turn or from this turn's shooting?
This turn they copped a 6
I
from
got a
them.
shot from them. All right, that's what happened.
Single dice.
Now, yeah, so in the fight, we took 2 ones off of each other. That put them 2 over. They didn't do too badly on the morale roll, but they did fall back 1, disordering them. So I've got an opportunity where everything's in a bit of a mess for the Austrians at the moment. I might be able to just box them up if nothing else. But it's a really close game. Anyone's army could fall apart at any second, frankly. You'll have to bring your cavalry in next turn. But for now, we will go into Prussian turn 5. End of Prussian turn 5, and it remains an extremely close game. Over here, the brigade continues to withdraw. 2 units are off. The last one is moving slowly because they're still in line. Doesn't mean anything. There's no targets to shoot at. If there were targets, we'd still be blazing away as we fell back. We thought about charging this lot across here into these infantry and thought better of it. Instead, we moved up the cannon on impulse and we fired at them 4 times and did rather a bit of damage to them. They're shaken. They're on 4 and they're disordered.
No, they're on 3.
Oh, they're on 3, so not shaken, but they're disordered. Yeah. Alright, so they're not shaken. That unit is shaken. They're not shaken at all, they're just in square still from previous turns. We tried to move these guys up to get around the back, but I rolled really quite badly, and they ended up doing a blunder on the re-roll of all things and moved across to the side here. That was funny. And the Marauders charged into the back of these guys. Well, they actually charged the cannon, and it turns out that if you charge something, destroy it, and there's another target within 45, you can hit that target within 45. That was in 45, which is a little different to what I'm used to. I'm used to the Warhammer where you go in a direct straight line. So that's rather convenient. So I put me in the back of them. So we charged into them and fucked them up. We'd actually shot at them with these guys first. Didn't do any wounds, but we did disorder them. And over here we formed these into line and shot at them, since they're at point blank range, and did a little bit of damage. And disordered them. So they're disordered, they're disordered, they're disordered. That unit there is disordered, although that's from a previous... No, it's from your turn. Yeah. Right, yes, it's going to last for the whole another turn. Wow. So the Austrians are still in the fight. They got reinforcements coming. Still anyone's game. What a fucking meat grinder. Alright, well, into Austrian turn 5. End of Austrian turn 5, and wow, it just... Hey, whose turn was that? Was that my turn?
Mine.
That was your turn 5, right. Okay, end of Austrian turn 5, right. Okay, so the cavalry turned up, then failed their fucking orders to do anything. They took another couple of wounds off of here. That was bad, actually. These guys are hurting now. They're shaking, but they're marauders. In the fight, we managed to bash up that unit of infantry quite well. Reformed on the spot afterwards. But these guys shot what, once? Mm-hmm. Killed a guy. I've not been able to make a fucking morale save in my life today, and they're shaking that unit. Now that means that there's 1 destroyed, 1 shaken, and 1 functional. So they have to fall back now. That's my 2nd brigade falling back out of 3. I don't know if that means that my whole army falls back now. 2 out of 3 brigades falling back.
They can't go, just them.
Just them. Yeah, but even so, I'm not entirely sure what condition my army's in. If we're still going, these guys can charge a flank and we can try and bump off another brigade. But I've actually lost 2 out of 3 brigades. Does that mean that I'm... Yeah, okay,
It's cavalry.
we'll keep playing it. It's a very, very close game today. Now, I think one of my guns has to fall back because I've got one unit which is Army Reserve and one unit which is attached to a brigade, so that one has to start falling back. Let's see if it shoots as it wheels back, because it is infantry. Close game. We'll check in at the end of turn 6, Prussia. End of Prussian turn 6. Now, these guys had to fall back. These guys fell back with them. These guys are an army support unit rather than attached to a brigade. We've decided that because I've got one functioning brigade, we'll keep the fight going. As long as somebody has one functional brigade, the fight continues. These guys didn't fall back because they're disordered, so they're just sitting there like dumb fucks to shoot what's in front of them. These guys move the hell away from them so they don't get shot up some more, because I've got a stunning inability to make morale saves against shooting today. These cavalry barreled into the left flank of a line of disordered infantry and pretty much annihilated them. They were reformed on the spot. I've got 2 targets, no running through, because even though we did it with the modifiers and everything counted, they rolled up essentially a 6, I think. They fell back 1. But there was nowhere to go, so we counted them as destroyed. But there's no overrun either because we didn't annihilate the unit outright. So I've got basically one cavalry brigade. It's in pretty good shape actually. Some army support and everything else. The infantry brigades are falling back. Now this cavalry brigade here, we fell back over the hill because they're shaken and we really did not want to get charged by them. We only moved back 1 though, which is probably about what you want. That's about it. Somewhere along the lines we started ignoring objectives because I could have just sat up there and won the objective, but this is a lot more fun. So we're into the Austrian turn 6 and we'll check in after that. End of Austrian turn 6. The cavalry, well, these guys failed their elite test to turn around and do anything, so they could have reformed and shot the hell out of the cavalry. The shot at these guys didn't achieve much. The general's going, where the hell is my army? And these cavalry have turned up just in time to say, what the fucking hell happened here? And buggered off back to Austria, which I think is, heading back to Austria seems to be a euphemism at this point. I want to call this a tie. I don't know what the fuck else to call it, because whose army broke first seems to depend an awful lot on we've broken each other's armies.
Yeah.
Whose army broke first depends a bit on what you count and don't count. I managed to forget about taking the objectives in order to go and kill more shit, because that's way more fun.
You've got 3 cavalry brigades still on the board.
And this is the only one that matters. So I've got, and you've got a cavalry brigade which is in fine fighting force, same as mine. Both of our infantry brigades are screwed. It comes down to interpretations of whatever terms and conditions we set as to who won or not. I'd call it a tie.
Okay. You're very generous.
Well, so are you. A very generous opponent. Llew helped me out with various points with suggestions and reminders of how the rules work along the way, and kindly held some of his reserves back, which could have, if I was playing a more aggressive player, that could have swayed things one way or another. But I tell you what, there's a lot of widows on this battlefield today. This battlefield's got more corpses than living things on it. What have we learned?
Well, for you, rally checks.
Because you kept shooting my guys. I never got a chance to rally.
Yeah.
And disordering them with those shots.
And I think reserves in this attack defender scenario, I think reserves from I'd be going from turn 4.
Turn 4?
Turn 4.
Because I maybe if we make it turn 2 with the 1 dice, but we get to charge on turn 1. I reckon you might have been right in saying charge on turn 1.
Put it in your notes.
One of those options or the other.
Yeah.
Because I thought setting up with like the extra points worth of stuff is just it'd run the risk of obliterating your army, but I was wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah, one of those 2 variables, I reckon.
Every time we've done this attack defend, the attackers have got to have at least twice the amount of points to start with.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're thinking of Flames of War rules where things drive in and start shooting pretty quick.
Yeah. Because you can fail orders and you can blunder and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Things don't automatically do what you tell them to, do they?
Correct. Yeah.
Wow, interesting game. Very close game. Every turn I thought, well, we're screwed. He's screwed. Nope. Everyone's right in the fucking margin. I guess that's one of the things when you take a mystery from some other game system. The principle is sound, but you got to take into account the quirks of that particular game that you're playing.
No, excellent game.
Likewise.
Nice way to spend a Tuesday.
Yeah, indeed. And I had another bottle of tactile enhancement after the first one, and I'm starting to feel it. So, on that note, do feel free to hit like, subscribe, all that stuff. Around about now, a thingy will be turning up. You click on that, you'll see more of our silliness from other games, and most of them from Llew's very nice games table. But for now, I think it's time to call it a night.